Hello and welcome to our look at all games and DLC that will likely be released for Total War in 2022 based on the Creative Assembly's previous release schedules. You may remember that last year's video was shot all to hell by COVID delays and the outright dropping of support for literally every historical title. But hey, 2022 is a new year and it will likely bring a lot of Warhammer DLC, a new historical title, and the return of Medieval 2 Total War. I want to extend a special thanks to my Discord research assistants Walarani and Geo for their help on this video. Also, yes, we have a Discord, and no, it doesn't have an adult section. The big release of 2022 will of course be Total War Warhammer 3 on February 17th, and that acts as the keystone for the rest of the year. Everything else either avoids this big chungus or builds upon it. A month after Warhammer 3's release, sometime in March, we should look for the launching of its mod workshop and the arrival of the much maligned Blood DLC. But any outrage will be tempered by the reveal that it will be free for anyone who bought the Blood DLC in previous games. And to further distract from the fact that Blood is not included in Warhammer 3, but dick cheese references and diarrhea-spewing monsters were, the combined global map will likely be released at the same time as well. Many aren't expecting this mega map of the entire Warhammer fantasy world until the summer, but Mortal Empires for Game 2 was supposed to release at the game's launch, and was only delayed a month because of porting issues. From a strictly financial viewpoint for CA, the sooner it arrives for Warhammer 3, the better. The franchise's entire back catalog of DLC and games is nearly useless until the new combined map releases. Players will only purchase these DLC if they can be used after all, so I would expect Immortal Empires sooner rather than later. The other big reveal that I feel is likely to come with the combined Game 3 map is that playing it will not require Games 1 and 2. Total War already has a rather convoluted DLC policy that is difficult for newcomers to grasp. By making the combined map open to everyone, but merely locking the older factions until they are owned, it makes it much easier for anyone to jump right in and enjoy the game. And also, instantly see that they're missing out on DLC to purchase and play. Removing the requirement of owning Games 1 and 2 would also allow new players on Microsoft's PC Game Pass to jump right in and play, as the rights management gets a bit tricky otherwise. This move would also have the added benefit of freeing up future DLC to appear only on the combined global map, instead of also having to be shoehorned into the scripted base campaign, which could have big implications for the game's future DLC policy, which I will cover in a Warhammer 3 specific video, because this one is about all of Total War in 2022, so let's move on. Sometime this spring, Medieval 2 Total War will launch for iOS and Android. It was announced during the run-up to Warhammer 3, and most people frankly didn't hear about it. But this beloved classic is back, and now you can play it on your phones. This move also nearly guarantees Medieval 2 will see a full remaster, as Phones First is the same route taken by Rome Total War. It took Rome 2 years to go from iOS to PC launch, but as these games were built on the same engine, I would expect this remaster to occur much more quickly, possibly as soon as the end of 2022 or early 2023. 3 months after the release of Warhammer 1 and 2, the first race packs were released, so we can expect the pseudo-Babylonian stunties to arrive in either May or June. Chaos Dwarfs are already heavily hinted at within Warhammer 3, and they stand as one of the last major playable races from Warhammer Fantasy Tabletop to yet make an appearance, so their arrival with 4 lords in a new faction race is a safe bet. This will likely be accompanied by another soft rework of a Game 1 faction and an FLC Lord. Let's assume Warriors of Chaos will be first, or that it will occur alongside the release of the combined map, because Lord help me, they need it. Around this time, CA is also likely to announce its next saga title. Total War is based on an annual release cycle now, and Warhammer was technically last year's release. They usually give us about 3 months warning before these come out in September. That is, unless it's delayed until next March as well. CA Sophia will likely be helming it again, evidenced by their discontinuation of DLC for their Troy game, so the entire studio could focus on the next saga release. There's even speculation the game could connect back to Troy as a larger Bronze Age map, using using the Warhammer method to drive sales of the older Troy title. Regardless, game companies always like to have something to sell during the holidays to help pad those end-of-the-year numbers, and we can expect its release, hopefully, in fall of 2022. Which brings us to the first Lord Packs DLC for Warhammer 3. These normally drop 2 to 3 months after the first race pack, putting it either in August or September. Which Lords will be featured is a complete toss-up, as Warhammer 3 launches with so many new factions, each with their own very unique and interesting option. The Kislevite Hag Witch and the Monkey King are favorites, as well as the mortal champions of Chaos like Valkia the Bloody and Festus the Leech Lord. A month after the release of the next historical title, the Blood DLC will drop for it. Unless you all stop buying it, that is. But let's be honest, that's not going to happen. Troy released a new faction pack at the same time, and we should have gotten one for Thrones of Britannia a month later as well, but these resources were diverted to game updates. So if the next saga title gets a DLC, it will happen here. We'll then round out the year by possibly seeing the release of a second Warhammer race pack, as it's always good to squeak one in at the holidays. Games 1 and 2 had theirs around this time, but who it will be is also, again, a complete guess. Nagash, Dogs of War, Albion, Hobbits, they're all possibilities, and nothing can be discounted at this point. Even Ind, Nippon, and Koresh are still on the table, as frankly, CA shouldn't be trusted to give straight answers before official announcements of upcoming releases, as anything else is all just PR speak. So, that's my predictions for the Total War release schedule for 2022. Only time will tell how accurate it is, but if nothing else, it provides some guideposts for you to ready your wallet before the next onslaught. Hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me what you think about these predictions below, or what you think the next saga title will be. But as always, thanks for watching.